The entire team was gone, but Xu Xiaoyan managed to survive. She surrendered to them. She decided to follow whoever won. Wu Lin knew she wouldn't be involved. Gu Yue was just disappointed. Shi noted that Xu Xiaoyan was treated like a queen. Yang thought that the situation was now 3-1. Wu Siduo had exhausted a lot of her strength. If they attacked with all their strength at that time, their chance to win would have been really high. If he could win against her, then the position of class president would be his. So he attacked her. She used her powers and turned into a white tiger. Everyone was surprised. She eliminated Yang with one strike. Wu Lin wondered if she was using a self-soul fusion skill. He acknowledged that she was too powerful. The two decided to run. She attacked them, but Wu Lin grabbed Gu Yue and jumped onto a tree. She then decided to leave. She came across Xu Xiaoyan, who surrendered immediately. She asked if she was okay. Siduo responded that she was very weak and had overdrafted her soul power. If she had planned on attacking, then that would have been the time. Xu said she could not take advantage of her in her current state, as she was not that kind of a person, and since she had surrendered, she was now on her team. Siduo asked to be protected, as she was going to meditate. Xu did as she was asked. Wu Lin and his team were watching this from a tree. ZC asked Wu Lin what they were going to do now. Wu Lin mentioned that such a large battle had definitely attracted the attention of others and suggested they should wait there for others to come to deal with her. Gu Yue agreed to wait, but expressed her desire not to have anyone disturb her while she was meditating. Wu Lin asked why, to which Gu Yue responded that she wanted to duel her at her best condition. Wu Lin, acknowledging Gu Yue's stubbornness, agreed that they would protect her while she meditated. ZC wasn't so sure about their decision. Wu Lin stated that Gu Yue was right, questioning if defeating her immediately would lead to genuine acceptance of their victory. He emphasized that if any of them wanted to become the class president at Shrek Academy, they would need to demonstrate their strength, making Wu Siduo a challenge they had to overcome fairly. Wu Lin then requested Gu Yue to promise that they would fight together, acknowledging that Wu Siduo was stronger and defeating her would be difficult, noting that their opponent wasn't just her. Gu Yue asked him if becoming class president was really important to him. Wu Lin understood what she was actually trying to say and told her that they would do this together. ZC didn't seem to understand. An announcement was then made stating that 12 people remained and the arena would be reduced for the final battle. They were told to engage in random battles. Everyone was now present at the same location. Wu Lin understood why no one had come to eliminate Wu Siduo. It was because there were only a dozen of them left, and 4 of them were in a dire state. Xu Yucheng's team looked unbeatable. Wu Lin told Gu Yue to save her soul power because he was going to fight Xu Yucheng. Xu Yucheng's team and Wu Lin's team were now face to face. Xu Yucheng's team attacked. One of the team members decided to go for ZC. He used a silver gray chains attack to restrain him. He thought that no one could escape his grip, but ZC proved him wrong. He easily managed to escape. He told him that his soul control skills were too weak. He attacked him, showing him real speed. Wu Lin thought that ZC unleashed his ghost shadow perplexing track and separated himself into 2 clones. It seemed that ZC had engraved Elder Chia's criticisms that day into his heart. Wu Lin then confronted Xu Yucheng. He attacked with an entangled attack, but Xu Yucheng's black mist avoided his blue dilver grass. He then ran towards him. He was surrendered by black mist. Xu Yucheng thought that he had no way of escaping, but Wu Lin managed to dispel the black mist with a single slap. Xu Yucheng was surprised. Wu Lin dashed towards him, attacking him with the blue silver grass. Xu Yucheng took out his scythe, which made Wu Lin a little worried. Xu Yucheng started spinning his scythe, which cut through the blue silver grass with ease. A black aura started coming out from him. He attacked Wu Lin with that black aura, trapping him inside it. He thought that no one could escape his attack, but then a golden light started coming out of it. This shocked Xu Yucheng. Wu Lin managed to escape the dark mist, his eyes glowing a dark purple color. Xu Yucheng received a mental shock from him and was almost controlled by him. Wu Lin attacked him. He had no choice but to block his attack. A huge explosion happened. The fight was now neck and neck. Xu Yucheng thought that his opponent probably believed he specialized in long weapons. Unfortunately, Wu Lin, Xu Yucheng's demon scythe, was just as effective in close-quarters fights. Wu Lin was going to pay the price for his misjudgment. Wu Lin attacked him, and he stopped him with his scythe. He was shocked by how strong he was because of his punch. Some cracks appeared on his demon scythe. Wu Lin's power started proving too much for him as even more cracks started to appear. Xu Yucheng's mouth started bleeding, and he was worried about what was about to happen to him. Then, with a final attack, Wu Lin broke his scythe and finished him. His attack left a huge crater in the ground. Their fight even grabbed the attention of Siduo. Wu Lin thought that this guy had been hiding too deep, and the power he had just shown was definitely not inferior to young Nianxia's. It seemed that he had judged the wrong person. Xu Yucheng's teammates were shocked by what had just happened to him. Gu Yue told them to worry about their own fight. She used purple demon eyes, and ZC used Light Dragon Storm to eliminate both their enemies. After their fight, Shu Xiaoyan rejoined them. It turned out that she was with them all along. She asked Wu Lin what they should do next. Wu Lin decided that they would just observe, and the one who would fight Siduo would be Gu Yu. CC and Shu Xiaoyan cheered for Gu Yu. Siduo was surprised that only one person had come to face her. Siduo thought that Gu Yue was just a support type, and questioned if she really wanted to duel her one-on-one. She reminded herself not to overthink and to handle the situation first. Siduo attacked, but Gu Yue easily escaped. Siduo noticed that Gu Yue had no difficulties escaping her attack, and instead crazily absorbed the surrounding elemental energy. It seemed that Gu Yue was not going to be easy to deal with. Gu Yue used the fire element to accelerate the speed of her icicle missiles. Siduo was shocked. She barely managed to block her attack. Gu Yue's spatial power was hindering Siduo's speed. The number of icicles was too much to block, so she had to dodge them. Gu Yue started to form a tornado. Due to the strong winds, Siduo couldn't see anything. But then Gu Yue appeared. Siduo, seeing that this was her chance, decided to strike. She attacked, but Gu Yue disappeared again. The stones that were flying in the blizzard tornado were damaging Siduo. Wu Lin noted that Gu Yue's element control ability had improved. She was even taking advantage of her opponent's power to strengthen her attack. Siduo knew she couldn't take much more of her attacks, so she decided to use Hell Rush to escape the tornado. She managed to escape, but that was short-lived. Gu Yue used her powers and formed another tornado. They both looked at each other with an intense gaze. Siduo stood up to face her. A blue aura started surrounding Siduo. She was powering up, but even that was proving to be ineffective. The storm's power was too strong. She couldn't hold for much longer. Gu Yue was impressed that Siduo had lasted for so long. She decided to add more material to her. Siduo was now running out of options, but then the tornado had gone out of control. Gu Yue wasn't able to control it, so she told her teammates to run. Siduo was shocked. She was now trapped in a tornado with no way to escape. Gu Yue told her teammates to not get involved. The tornado started destroying everything. The team ran and barely made it back to the cabin. They were welcomed with angry stares. Everyone was frustrated because of them. Since the difference in strength between the four of them was clear, there was no need for the competition to continue any longer. And because Wu Lin and Gu Yue were on the same team, the class president and vice presidents would be chosen between them. Gu Yue decided to let Wu Lin be the class president. Wu Lin thanked her for her kindness. Shen Yi told Xie and Shu Xiaoyan to choose which one of them would be vice president. Shu Xiaoyan happily gave up the position. Xie also gave up the position. He told her that when he is sure that he would be able to be a president or vice president, he'll have no hesitation for a challenge. Shen Yi addressed the group, stating that since the two individuals lasted until the end and chose to give up on being the vice president, they would be rewarded with 2,000 contribution points to distribute between them. She then asked Wu Siduo if she would like to take the remaining vice president seat, to which Siduo agreed. Shen Yi confirmed the arrangement, announcing that the class president was Wu Lin, and the two vice presidents were Gu Yue and Wu Siduo. She mentioned that since the forging committee had selected Wu Lin as a blacksmith representative, competitions would be held for the remaining 3 representative positions: Mecha Design Committee, Mecha Manufacturing Committee, and Mecha Maintenance Committee. She then instructed all designers, makers, and mechanics ranked 2 and above to sign up to compete. Wu Lin noted that Gu Yue went to sign up. He thought that she was trying to be the designer representative. Yang was still upset that he didn't become president. He looked at Wu Lin and it seemed like he was about to kill him. But then he shook his hand with a crushing grip and told him to take care of him. Wu Lin agreed. He thought that crushing his hand was his way of revenge. Wu Lin then went towards Wu. He called his name, but he simply ignored him, and Wu Lin didn't understand. He was wondering why Wu hadn't given them any pointers since they came to the academy. ZC told Wu Lin that he would leave first. He was proud because he sensed that ZC had learned a lot. Shu Xiaoyan told Wu Lin that they should go back. She asked him if he thought she could thrive at Shrek Academy because everyone there had amazing talent. He told her not to underestimate herself, assuring her that her martial soul was an amazing variant and expressing confidence that once her soul rank was higher, she would be able to show off its true power. With a simple smile on her face, she agreed, saying that he was right. He responded that it was good to see she didn't lose confidence in herself that easily. She affirmed, stating that she had to do her best and become stronger. After a morning of elections, all the cadres of the freshman class had been determined. Some people even held more than one class officer position. It was not uncommon for one person to hold 2 class officer positions at Shrek Academy. There had even been instances where one student had held 4 positions. Of course, that outstanding student ended up in the inner court. After the class officer positions were decided, the new student's study life at Shrek Academy officially began. As Wulin's forging level had far exceeded his own cultivation level, it was most important for Wulin to raise his cultivation level. However, there was no shortcut to raising his cultivation level. Only constant cultivation and accumulation would allow him to build up his strength. At the same time, an uninvited guest appeared at a different corner of the working student dormitory. Yue Zhengyu was assigned the same room as Yuanen Yehui. Yuanen wasn't happy about this, so she ordered him to get out of her room. He refused, stating that he was assigned that room by the academy, and because Yue wasn't budging, Yuanen decided to leave. Yue asked her why he was leaving. She told him that she was going to request a room change because she felt sick at the thought of sharing a room with him. He was enraged by this and requested that they spar, but she simply ignored him and left. Ever since Yue moved to the working students' dormitory area, he had always had a desire to battle with Yuanen. He even provoked Yuanen in front of everyone in the class. However, Yuanen refused his sparring requests every single time. This made Yue even more enraged. In another room, Zhenhua was enraged at Mu Chen because he wanted to resign. Zhen banged his table and expressed his anger, stating that when Mu Chen had wanted to move to that remote city, he had let him do so. He pointed out that the Sky-Sea Alliance's economy was thriving under Mu Chen's guidance, and now Mu Chen wanted to resign. Zhen questioned if Mu Chen had been kicked in the head by a donkey. Mu Chen responded that it was because the Sky-Sea Alliance was on the right track that they no longer needed him. He emphasized that as a saint blacksmith, he aspired to become a divine blacksmith one day. Zhen didn't believe him and demanded that he tell him the real reason for his resignation, or else he wouldn't allow it. Mu Chen replied that he didn't care if Zhen approved or not anymore, and that he was leaving. Zhen called after him, telling him to come back and promising to allow it if he gave a legitimate reason first, as he still needed to give an explanation to the other high-ranking members of the association. As one of the association's pillars, Zhen argued, Mu Chen couldn't just leave like this. He tried to play the guilt game by asking with tears in his eyes how could he abandon him like that, but Mu Chen saw right through what Zhen was doing, and he slapped him. Mu Chen agreed to stay, saying he would give him some faith and not completely resign, but he wanted to be transferred to another branch. He mentioned he had been on the outskirts of the continent for too long and now wanted to live in the core of the continent. Zhen asked where, and Mu Chen specified Shrek City, requesting to be made the president of the branch there. Zhan got angry and accused him of wanting to be the president of the Shrek City branch all along. Zhenhua and Mu Chen had known each other since childhood, and they became blacksmiths together, and while they were best friends, they were also rivals. In fact, they had even fallen in love with the same girl. In the end, the two were faced with a difficult choice: chase the dream or chase love. Zhenhua chose to further his career, and Mu Chen chose to marry the girl. Mu Chen asked if he could transfer his post. Zhen responded that he could go to Shrek City then, but reminded him that the president of the Blacksmiths Association of Shrek Academy was an old madman not even 10 of him could match. Zhen advised not to provoke him. Mu Chen replied that if he caused trouble, he would just throw him his way. Zhan asked him if he owed him something, and he replied yes. He agreed and asked how Bao'er was doing. Mu Chen told him that she was doing great. Zhan asked him when he planned on leaving for Shrek City. He told him that he would be leaving immediately, and that Bao'er and she would also be going with him. He asked him if he could pull some strings so that she could get into Shrek Academy. Zhan told him that it wouldn't be an easy task. He asked him if it should be easy. Zhan confronted him, saying that he was just trying to make him suffer. He said yes. This made Zhan even more mad, and he told him to leave. He left, saying goodbye. Outside, Wulin met Yuanen. He asked her why she was cleaning because she had already cleaned her room that morning. She told him that she had switched rooms because of Yue, which was why she needed to clean. Wulin mentioned that he heard the new student also moved to the dormitory area for working students. She confirmed that it was him and expressed that she did not want anything to do with him. Seeing an opportunity to make money, Wulin decided to welcome their new fellow working student. He knocked on Yue's door. Yue asked who he was. He came out and was surprised to see Wulin. He mentioned that he had heard Yue had moved in, so he came to welcome him. Yue invited him in, commenting that the accommodation conditions for the working students were too difficult. He clarified that it wasn't just Yue's, but everyone's conditions, then added that there was something he wanted to discuss that might interest Yue. Yue asked what it was. Wulin showed him some pieces of meteoric iron and told him that this was first-grade 1,000 refined meteoric iron, and if he was interested, he should make an offer. Yue told him to state his price, but he was not interested in money. Yue mentioned that he didn't have many points and suggested paying with money. He responded that they would only accept contribution points or spirit items. Yue then asked which spirit items were needed. He specified that they wanted 1,000-year Earth Dragon Crystal, Ice Essence, Dragon Spirit Grass, and Longevity Grass, a total of 4 items. Yue thought that he was charging too much and questioned whether the total value of the 4 spirit items was way higher than that of the 2 pieces of meteoric iron. He mentioned that at best, he could get 2 spirit items for the meteoric iron. Wu Lin then expressed understanding of the difficulty of the situation and requested 1,000-year longevity grass and 1,000-year dragon spirit grass. Yue asked how the 2 pieces of meteoric iron were obtained. Wu Lin, a level 4 blacksmith, explained that he had forged the 2 pieces of first-grade 1,000 refined meteoric iron himself. Yue was surprised and confirmed whether the blacksmith had indeed first-grade 1,000 refined the 2 pieces simultaneously. Convinced of the blacksmith's genius, Yue agreed to his conditions and informed him that it would take about a week, warning him not to sell the meteoric iron in the meantime.